Well, my poems tonight are some old and some new. I've been doing that lately. I always feel like when we're going to have a Spofest, I should write something new. So I've done some new things, resurrected some old things. We have a little mix of moods and such, styles and such, which I like. So in keeping with the Valentine theme, I first have I have two contrasting poems, one about very young love and one about very old love. So I'm going to start with those two. These are my serious poems. My other ones will come later. Those are my new ones, but this one is called First Valentine. Gangly limbs and Nikes feel out of place in this strange world, somewhere other than basketball court, second base, and midfield. He studies these new subjects: flowers, stuffed bears, candy kisses, balloons, and counts his coins again. The salesman smiles. He recalls clumsy maneuvers, red-cheeked questions, a voice that cracks, but eyes as bright as mylar, a step light as helium, a heart yet intact. That's my son Tim there. And then I want to read this next poem, not because it's especially a great poem, but because it was a landmark poem for me. It appeared in 1970, I believe 1978, in a little literary journal from Ozark, Missouri called the Ozark Review. And the young fellow who put that together as a project, his name was Steve Wittgenstein. And so I was aware of this new publication, and I sent this poem in. And so it becomes, in my mid-20s, my first actually published poem, somewhere other than like on my mom's refrigerator and that sort of thing. I wrote it about an old couple who lived next door to me, and I would go over to their house and listen to their stories in the summer evenings especially. So I think this is interesting because Steve Wittgenstein has returned twice now to read with us at Spofest. He's over at Columbia. Interesting that 35 years can pass and two young writers know each other, and then 35 later are reunited by an event such as this, thanks to James. So this little poem, just a little image poem, is called Next Door Neighbors. Side by side, hand on wrinkled hand, they sit in silver-haired reminiscence. They paint a peaceful picture, these aged artists in ragged housecoat and worn house shoes. A toothless grin spreads across their weathered faces, and eyes nearly sightless dance with the memory of 70 summers shared. Well, on the subject of love and relationships, I debated about whether to throw this one in tonight. I finally decided to because I like it. It's not a happy love poem, but then sometimes love is not happy. This one's called January Triptych. I hold my breath and squeeze into the only pair of jeans that still fit. The new semester starts. I constrict my life into lesson plans and reading, bad writing. You are just getting back from a ski trip to Aspen, to Vail. Once again, I hold my breath and squeeze. Okay, now the new stuff. Parody. A fun thing to do, perhaps an irreverent thing to do, but I love it. I enjoy it. I couldn't decide whether to do a parody on Annabelle Lee. I'm a Poe lover. I very much love the poetry of Edgar Allan Poe. So I did that one, and then I know somewhere in the middle of doing that one, I thought, oh man, I should have done the Owl and the Pussycat. A poem by Edward Lear back from the late 1800s. So great that these poems have lived down through the ages, that they still influence us. So anyway, My, my Annabelle Lee parody is actually named Annie Marie, and after the fact, I thought, gosh, we have a person who comes to Spofest sometimes named Anna Marie. But I didn't think of that Anna Marie, I promise, when I was writing this. I was just trying to think of something similar to the name. So anyway, I share with you now Annie Marie. A long time ago, just how long I don't know, in a village by the Lee, a maiden there grew whom everyone knew as unflappable Annie Marie, and her golden life was to be the wife of the man with the golden key to the city whose mayor was he. But she didn't dare speak aloud to the mayor of the village by the Lee. She stayed behind so that he'd never find the elusive Annie Marie. Yes, she hid so well that he couldn't tell when she spied down on him from a tree. Then, for whatever reason, one hot summer season in the village by the Lee, she leaped from a branch and grabbed hold of the pants of the man with the golden key, and the key, like a rocket, shot out of his pocket and landed where no one could see, and his pants were ripped off at the knee. He said to her, "Wowzers, you've ruined my trousers. They cost $17.93. But what's really bad is the key that I had is lost somewhere out there on the Lee, and I just can't tell where it might be." Then after his fit, he calmed down quite a bit and scrutinized Annie Marie. She looked quite all right in the dimly lit night for a girl who had jumped from a tree. She was raucous and wild, but still the mayor smiled at the curious Annie Marie. Now, with moon up above to beam down on their love, the two of them stroll on the Lee. They wish on a star shining down from afar, and here's what their wishes might be: that he gets some new pants for the next village dance, that somehow they find the lost key, that nothing else stranger and threatening danger drops down upon them from a tree, because what a sad end that would be. Can you stand another one? Can you stand another parody? Okay, that's the one I feel the worst about because Edgar Allan Poe I really like. I like Edward Lear too, Alan the Pussycat. But anyway, here this is my grand finale: The Cow and the Alley Rat. The cow and the alley rat took to the sky in a polka dot hot air balloon. They took some Spam and blackberry jam just in case they got hungry at noon. The rat looked out to the clouds about and sang to a walking bass, "You are utterly beautiful, Bessie, my love, and those lovely black spots on your face, your face, your face, you wear with such elegant grace." Cow said to the rat, "Though you're just a bit flat, with some practice you could sing better. I think I am ready right now to go steady, but how can I fit in your sweater?" The winds whispered soft and kept them aloft till they reached a castle aglow, and there on a ray from the sun far away stood a stork with a bundle wrapped so, wrapped so, wrapped so, and the rat told the cow they must go. "Dear stork, we're quite harried, 'cause we're not yet married," said Rat as he mopped up his brow. "Whether girl or a boy, this bundle of joy won't fit with our planning right now." So, with a handle of spoon, he popped their balloon, which sped up their trip back. Oh dear. They left the stork standing, then looked toward their landing with great trepidation and fear and fear and fear. And the rat said, "We're dead meat, my dear." The rat awed and oohed, and Bessie just mooed. They were certain they both were quite dead. But before they met fate, the stork said, "Hey, wait! This bundle is just homemade bread. In your hurry to fly your balloon to the sky, this is what you neglected to pack." With his expertise flying, he saved them from dying, and they paid the favor right back, right back, right back. They shared all the stuff in their sack.